All right, turning now to a very disturbing report from Jim Jordan. Now, get this. Apparently, federal investigators were asking banks to search the personal transactions of individual Americans for terms like Trump and MAGA. Banks were also asking to use merchant category codes to identify potentially suspicious transactions. And what transactions did Treasury think were so suspicious? Small arms, sporting, recreational goods. In other words, if you go to stores like Dick's Sporting Goods and Bass Pro Shops. By the way, I got my boots for Iowa at Dick's Sporting Goods. Thank God for Instacart. If you're a law-abiding American who legally purchased a gun after 2021, your government thought you needed to be monitored. Now sources are telling Fox News Digital tonight that the impetus for this very serious invasion of privacy was, of course, none other than January 6th. Now, these revelations should scare every single American. You want to talk about privacy, constitutional rights, or do you want to live in an Orwellian nightmare with Big Brother? And by the way, so should Biden's wide open borders, which, by the way, continues to have real consequences. Americans, they're fighting back. The family of a 20-year-old woman who was strangled to death by an illegal immigrant who turned out to be an MS-13 gang member is now suing the Biden administration, saying that she would be alive today if Joe Biden enforced our nation's border laws. Here with the latest on all of this, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. You know, it just so happens I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, ordered from them boots when I was headed to Iowa, where I saw you, and the wind chill was 20 below zero. And I'm glad that they had great boots, great traction. I'm happy I went there. I want to understand this. Tell me what they did here, because do we not have privacy anymore in America? Is this not a constitutional violation, unreasonable search and seizure?
Yeah, now in the last year, Sean, we've exposed the censorship where you had big government, big tech, big media, big academia working to censor Americans. Now we have financial surveillance where it's big government working with big banks, big corporations to surveil, to spy on Americans. And so it was big banks looking and searching private transactions using key terms at the suggestion of the federal government to find out what you're buying, what you're spending your money on. Scary stuff. All it looks like, without any warrant, without any legal process, they undertook this as a way to identify domestic violent extremism. And here's what it sounds a lot like. Remember that memorandum in Richmond about pro-life Catholics are extremists because they go to church and they're pro-life and they talk about, protecting human life. That's exactly what these documents sound like. We're right on the front edge of this. We'll see how it all progresses. But it's scary stuff. It's financial surveillance of the American people.